Welcome everybody to the EU LCS post-game lobby after week 6 of the summer split. I'm joined by Aranea and Kasing. For now, the Fisher will be joining in just a second. But Kasing, holy moly, what a game! Tell us from your perspective what it was like.
Okay, so my perspective, I'm just pressing E and ulti sometimes and some bumps. But of course, like I played this combo as Jhin Zilean with Kobe quite a lot, so we kind of knew what to expect going into this game. And yeah, I think we kind of played most teamfights pretty well. I think there was one teamfight mid that could have gone really badly.
This one?
No, this is the one that Odo just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, regardless of that, like, I think most of the teams that we played is pretty much, you know, just kaying around with Zoe.
Oh, this is insane, by the way.
Oh, right, yes.
This was beautiful.
Very insane by
beautiful.
Niski. I can't believe that people still give Splice Niski Zoe.
I don't get it as well. Like, we talk a lot about your picks. We talk a lot about how you draft comfort champions for all of you guys. Like in the past, you were drafting like you were trying to be the draft kingdoms, like really insane drafts. Everyone pricing Peter Doom for their drafts or the players. Yeah. And then this split, your success comes from your comfortable champions. Like it's every single time Niski the first pick for Zoe. In top lane, you're actually having success, a lot of success with Rumble. Yeah. In jungle, is pretty much Trundle. In AD carry is pretty much Jhin as well, and then in bot lane you're actually picking up some other champions. But it also triggered me so much every single time you hover over Zilean, and I'm like, nah, he's not gonna pick it. He's not gonna pick it, and then he locked Zilean today. Yeah,
I mean, you know, finally I have a good draw for Zilean, of course. I don't want Zilean with like, you know, an Ezreal, otherwise that's quite sad to play with.
It's bad as well.
Is it even more OP now that you can play Zilean with the Jhin with Halo Blades and with Stormracer?
Actually, yes, because well, I don't know if some people know, but with Jhin, if you get movement speed, you get like a lot of AD as well. And basically with Jhin, with Zilean, it kind of synergizes really well with each other. So after I realized like, you know, this combo could actually work, then we started playing a bit more and realized actually this is quite good. And then we showed it today.
Insane. It looked broken. And it's also one of Kobe's favorite champions, so that works. I'm just going to call on the Fisher. I see that he's ready and he's always got a thing or two to say.
The man bringing the chair.
The king will get his...
The man bringing the throne. The man bringing the guy.
There we go. Take a bow then to King the Fisher. But there's actually King Splice and King Kasing today. Wow.
King Kasing.
It's been a crazy day. I mean, how do you go from yesterday or even that game versus G2 and then today doing this versus Misfits? What?
Okay, so I will sum up G2's game, or us versus G2, in like a nutshell. Basically, I think Jankos, he trolled early and got caught in our jungle on top side. And the game supposedly should be fine, right? Because we had a comp that pretty much outscales them no matter what. Like, after 15 minutes, the game should be over for them because of the fact that they had no, like, no solution to Mundo in the side. But after Odo died like a few more times, then the game became...
Just a few.
Yeah, just a few, you know, very, very unlucky incidents. But after that, basically the game went over. And yeah, that's all I can say for that game.
Yeah, I mean, you can't also think more about that game because in the end, Odo just ended up dying a couple times and you know it's over at that point. But that's why it's all the more impressive that you come back and do this. The Fish Show, what do you think? What a fantastic game by Splice. It must excite you.
Fantastic game.
I mean, honestly, we could have finished 5 minutes earlier. I won't lie.
Hey, that could have been something. We spent about 20 minutes saying Spring Split Splice. They're back. It's wait for late game, protect copy, wait for the enemy team to like, you know, misstep somewhere and then just punish them quickly in a fight. And that's actually what did happen. It was also Spring Split Misfits, unable to play around Baron to actually force a fight, which was a huge issue for them when they had that massive goal lead. And we were like, okay, Jarvan ult and Shockwave at some point is going to hit someone.
Yeah, but they didn't see my cheeky ward. Did you see it? Like on the left side, right?
You know, I talk about that ward almost every week, and teams, for some reason, always forget about it. It's so simple.
They tried to bait like 3 times, and it was like,
the ward was always outside the Baron pit.
So it's like, oh, okay, I guess they're not doing it.
You realize, in Season 3, when me and Aranea were relevant players, we also placed that ward.
I was relevant player. You were never a relevant player at Officia.
When Aranea was feeding on a bottom team, and I was playing Nami,
that's better.
I always warded that spot. And in like 5-6 years, some teams have still not learned, maybe we should check outside. When team keep checking the Baron when we're starting it, there must be a ward somewhere.
Maybe that's a secret they keep talking about. Like, don't tell other people about that ward.
I mean, actually, there was a time, minute 20, that they cleared your ward inside, and then they could have done it. But Oriana, instead of that, he was just dropping the ball just to bait it, but you obviously didn't go for the nest. So I don't know if you saw the Reina ball going through. He was not aiming at Barn. He was obviously aiming the right of Barn. But they were trying to bait. I don't know why, because I think they had so much damage at that time. They can almost one-shot Barn, because Graves is actually one of the best junglers to do Barn, like a really fast Barn. But they didn't commit to that. They was just baiting it.
Sorry, I didn't know you said Baron, so I thought you said Barn, and then I was like Barney, Alfari, and I was so confused.
Like Chad is laughing about my accent. Don't do that, please.
I'm sorry, that's my bad.
Sorry, what did you say? I didn't get it.
Come on, man.
This is so rude. Like we're all.
Yay, we're not making fun of the Danish guy. I like it.
It's a Danish guy, a Belgian, and a Spanish person.
First and last time baiting LCS. That's good for me. That's good for me.
I'm so sorry. I should be the last person to do that because I often trip up as well. I just wanted to point out, Caster Curse in full effect. Me and Ender stood up here before the game. Hansama, Mickey X, best bot lane in EU. They are unbeatable. Look.
Hey, they got a solo kill.
Yeah.
When Kasing didn't have level 6.
Aye. And it was also 80 carry versus 80 carry, so that's gotta hurt. What do you think about Hansama and Mickey X? We call them the best bot lane. How do you guys think you're doing in current meta?
I honestly think Hansama and Mickey X actually do deserve the title of like best bot lane. I feel like they have consistently been performing really well over the course of like the past weeks. And I think honestly, me and Kobe, like maybe at the beginning we had a really shaky start. I think I died once to, I think Yowa's bot lane, and I did a misstep and then died. But I think me and Kobe, we eventually will get to a level that I feel comfortable by saying, you know, we are one of the best bot lanes rather than we are the best bot lane. Because in the end, you know, it's all about how you, like, how cohesive you are with your team rather than how good you are as a bot lane. Because in the end, it's a team game. It's not a dual bot lane. So
it does help if your mid laner is on fire, and Niski was player of the game, 48% of the votes. You said it yourself. Why do you give this guy Zoe? He is really insane. It's also his birthday, so
that's true. Happy birthday, Niski. If you can hear this.
Happy birthday. He's probably watching backstage.
Birthday curse for... oh, no, FNATIC ended up winning because it was Youngbuck's birthday as well. I thought it would be birthday curse. But Splice, great job. 1-1 once again. And you guys take one step closer to the playoffs. I want to take a look at the standings because this was actually a very tricky one. If you lost this, it would have looked quite grim with Schalke picking up the last win as well. So do you feel this is a very important win? Taking a step towards playoffs?
I mean, honestly, like with our ideology of like just the current score for LCS anyway, I don't think it matters whether we win a lot or lose a lot as long as we make it to the playoffs. That's pretty much what's the most important for us because I feel in a best of 5, we are kind of a different team rather than this best of 1 styled gameplay where you can kind of cheese your way to victory, right? But I think when best of 5 comes, I think we as Splice will do way better than best of 1.
Well, let's take a look. In that race of playoffs, it was so interesting rather. Today, Team Vitality went 2-0, so they're right back up there. And Schalke took, for me, one of the biggest steps they have all split by beating G2 and showing that they can beat a top team. Yeah,
I mean, they're 5-1 now the last 3 weeks, and they had FNATIC G2 this week. So getting a 1-1 is probably the best they could have asked for, also with how badly they got destroyed yesterday. So I think that game was huge. I love the Z pick. Like, I was like, man, this guy's insane, but okay. And he actually pulled it off. I think obviously G2 will be extremely unhappy with the game because they made so many mistakes. But
I mean, did G2 made so many mistakes?
Yes.
Or Jankos made so many mistakes?
I would like to say yes.
Okay, Jankos made so many mistakes.
I don't really want to blame as a team when as an individual, one person is not performing that well because so many times Alistar was missing from bot lane and they kept forcing around mid lane. When Pyke actually has the prior roaming, but you cannot let this an Alistar Bane on the river and just fighting around river, just fighting bot lane where Alistar is not.
You also can't engage a fight against the Sejuani on your own in a little jungle area where Rumble...
Unlucky game.
That's just disrespect.
That is actually disrespecting.
I want to ask something to Splice. Like, what will happen on a draft where a team ban against you guys, Rumble, Trundle, and Zoe, even leaving open something like Atrox, Taliyah, and Nocturne? Because I feel like your power comes from your comfort picks, and you're really good with them. But what happens if these strong picks are open?
Well, we have to find out one day when someone does that, right?
I guess we have to find out.
I mean, you can't say anything. Guys, top 3-wise, Misfits Gaming has now dropped 2 games. Is it time to revisit the conversation about the best team in Europe after what FNATIC has shown lately?
I mean, I feel like we have been claiming FNATIC has looked better after they beat Misfits. It's obviously a little bit unfair to just instantly write Misfits out of it, but there's definitely a lot more question marks. And I feel like whenever Misfits do not win the early game, like really hard, it does really slow down a lot for these guys. And what they showed today was, to me, Spring Split Misfits, like super struggling in the mid game around Baron if they don't have easy ways to start fights. And that was a little bit concerning, even though they've actually done okay late game in some of the past games. But FNATIC looks stronger in how they're playing.
Ceiling-wise.
G2, they do not look stronger.
What do you think, Kasing?
I kind of agree with the Fish Show. I feel like most teams, I always agree with you, but most teams, they have their kind of, like, how do I say it, weakness, right? Obviously with Splice, their weakness is their early game. But I would like to say, you know, most of the time in our early games, it has been getting better compared to the first few weeks, you know, which we showed literally, like, we just bent over and just let the enemy take the win. But on the other hand, you know, as we showed in today's game, we did show, you know, good signs of progress.
You did. You played a fantastic game and it kind of saved your week because that could have been an 0-2 and that could have been a 5-7. So that would have been closer.
Have wanted that
so, Alvar, you started the week by saying you had faith in the Unicorns of Love. They kept their dream alive today. They won, and H2K is out of the race, so they're competing with Giants still, with Splice. What do you think to Unicorns of Love after this week?
You were pushing me to say like one of the bot teams to be a contender.
That is not true at all. We had a call. Shock said we have Rocket, Vitality. Aaron here jumped in and said, "Shut up, everyone! Unicorns!" And then he just started screaming about unicorns.
Yeah, that's completely the truth. Like I can't.
That's what happened in that call.
For sure.
I remember.
No, obviously, I still think Unicorns of Love are a good team. I think they are overall. They are not as bad as they look on the standings, because I think they should be on the mid pack with around Rocket and a Splice. But I think some of those games that someone was talking before about being lucky and getting a win on these early games, they were not lucky. They lost so many games in the start of the season, and right now they are in the bottom of that. And I think it's going to be pretty hard for them to go out of that. Still, my faith is still on them. I think they're still a really good team, and they can perform better, as we saw today. I mean, wasn't the best performance, but still they got a win. Yeah. So if they can achieve some more wins on the coming weeks, I guess they can still have a run for the playoffs, but it's going to be really hard for them.
Yeah, that's mathematics, isn't it?
Every guest we invite on the show hype up Unicorns of Love.
So, Kasing.
I mean, the logo is beautiful.
Tell me then. Misfits Gaming, FNATIC, and G2 Esports make it to playoffs. Which other teams? So Splice? Who else?
Yeah, definitely Splice. But whether it's 4, 5, or 6, I'm not sure. But I don't care, because in the end, it's all about where you end up in the end.
But who goes with you?
Okay, that's a bit hard.
Come on.
I mean, honestly,
you decide what team do you want to scream.
So
and pretty much
basically, is it Rocket, Schalke?
I mean, it must be Schalke.
Vitality.
I feel like, I don't know enough about the new team Vitality roster, because I didn't really watch their games with Kikis. But it seems like, you know, they've been doing quite well, actually, with getting 2-0 this week. So maybe Vitality might be really good now. And I think, actually, the other team most likely will be Schalke.
Okay. That would be unfortunate for Rocket. But, I mean, I'm still on the Rocket hype train, for sure. I think they can do it. But it's going to be rough, and I love it that it's becoming not quite as close as last split, where every game could still, or every team could still make it. But it's very exciting.
And I think that's good.
Yeah.
Because I think last split, when we had every team effectively beating everyone, you start sometimes questioning, okay, what is the level of like the mid teams if they can't just consistently beat the bottom ones? Because typically in League, you always have a pretty clear bottom and top. But right now, we still have that, you know, top 3 fight happening. And I feel like a lot of our middle of the table teams, by consistently beating the bottom ones, it's a good thing.
Yes, it is.
That is a good sign.
I would like to talk about the top 3 teams, because we were saying that Misfits are going to be top 1. But if they drop one more game like this and FNATIC keep winning, they can still get the top 1. And the second thing, are we that sure that G2 is going to end up on this top 3? Because they're losing so many games lately.
Yeah.
Really bad losing streak.
Our match of the week next week is FNATIC versus G2, by the way.
It's not Splice? Oh my god.
It's a Splice
I'm
versus...
disappointed. I don't know who we're against, but
do you want to go on the committee for choosing the match of the week?
Yes, I would like to.
Wait, no,
I'm vouching for
It's been Splice every time.
Well, very interesting question there. We do need to move on. We are LCS is about to start, I believe, in 20 minutes. So I do want to get some more topics through, and I want to put Kasing on the spot, because it's time to for Kasing to share some opinions on your fellow EU LCS players.
Wait, what?
We have each of the cards that you're about to see are hiding one player.
It's all in the cards.
Whoa.
There we go.
Okay.
So,
Spent a lot of money on that one.
Yeah,
you better like
wait.
it.
I didn't get told about this.
No, it's a prank. It's a prank. Don't worry. We're off. We're off. Don't
Simple
worry.
enough. The concept is simple enough. You choose a card, and there's a player behind that card, and we are just going to talk about that player who is obviously relevant to the league, and maybe also relevant to you, but we'll see.
Is it someone I've played with or just
Well, it's an
anyone?
EULCS
Who
player.
knows? Pick a card.
It's an EULCS
It's the
player.
official, isn't it?
Yeah.
The PC is in one of the cards.
It's me.
So you pick him, that's
Okay.
the perfect point.
Okay, you know
That's
what?
how you win the game.
Yeah.
All right, since Splice is yellow, I'll pick the gold card, please.
Perfect.
The
Stun.
Fisio, the Fisio, the
Stun
Fisio, the
coming
Fisio.
out.
The
Gold
Fisio,
card.
the Fisio.
Oh, it's very exciting.
I want to repick. I want to pick the official, please.
Do you actually want to repick?
Nah,
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Wait, you can. I mean,
Oh, I can?
We'll give
Okay.
you, okay, we'll give you one repick.
Oh, one reroll.
One-
Oh my
one-
god,
one-
yes.
yeah, so
You know, it's like ARAM, you can have one
No,
reroll.
okay. Like,
Let's start with Yankers, then you can pick someone
okay.
else.
We'll see how much time we have. Let's start about Jankos because very interesting player with a huge history. You played with him, obviously, also in the past.
No?
No, H2K. Oh
I have
no,
never
that was
played
the
with him.
timeline.
Been on the
for
same team
interjection.
tax.
Yeah, you
Yes.
were on the same team. It wasn't during the same time. You know, in EULCS, it's sometimes difficult. You know,
I mean, we had a lot of different rosters.
everyone played
you
on
know.
almost.
Everyone has
every
kind of been on H2K as well at some point. And it's
Definitely.
been
All on
like, you know,
Everyone
like
has been.
they were there at some point.
But we talked about Jankos a bit as well. I don't want to, be negative about a guy who's down, but he's had a rough couple of weeks. Honestly, he's not been in his best form. Alfar, is that fair?
I mean, I will consider him starting the season that he's one of the best jungles, especially because last season Maxlor didn't perform that well. So if you think about the best teams or the best junglers, I definitely gonna say Jankos, But last week's how he's performing is not a top jungle anymore. At least this last week's performance. So I think he has to pick up his good level once again. He has to start performing. He has to start being impactful for the team in early game to be the Jankos in the past he was.
If you look at all the scenarios that could have worked well or worse for G2, I mean, if the meta was still like 80 carry, would have said, okay, the bot lane could be in trouble at some times, but they're doing great. So he seems to be a bit of the liability right now, or is that too harsh?
I mean, he was stuck playing Braum for like
Yeah,
a month,
that's
so
true.
he probably lost his mechanics a little bit. But I think with Jankos,
You're implying Braum doesn't require mechanics, sorry?
I mean, you don't even need to hit a Q. You just
Norscan
auto
would
attack
like
a
a
guy,
word.
and then you will get the passive on them.
And
Anyway,
kissing.
You're saying that as a main super with a super next to you.
I
Okay.
can't believe
now
you're
we gotta
saying
land the
that.
bubble,
Sorry, keep
man.
going,
That's
keep
way
going.
harder.
Keep going.
With Jankos, I think yesterday we were kind of back on the hype train because he actually looked super good on the Thalia apart from the first invasion.
Hey, I'd like to vouch that was Odo making him look good, not him being really good.
I mean, at some point, there's a little you can do when you're no flash and stuff. But I think today with Gragas, it wasn't like mechanical issues. It was just disrespecting the map for Jankos. And it was weird to see him be that greedy, almost lazy at actually what he was kind of doing. I still think he will always be one of the great junglers we have. But he obviously needs to find his form if G2 wants to consistently win the early games without funnel comms. Because it's really hurt them that funnel comms are no longer being used.
Do you think it's the transition to playing the standard comps again, that's why they're having trouble adjusting?
I mean, they did still lose some of the games towards the end with funnel, so it's not 100% the reason. They don't look as good without Perks getting all the farm. That's for sure.
I mean, it is very important because if you see now that, Misfits are dropping a couple of games here and there, they have to start looking at the playoffs and beyond. But as you guys say, as you said, maybe they even fall out of the top three. So it is important for them. Also for that bye. You just want that bye. You want 2 weeks to prepare for the semifinals and get that top 2.
Do we get another card?
We have some time so you can select another card.
50% chance to get me.
Wait, really?
By the way,
Okay.
Is that okay, guys? Production, sorry. Can we? Okay. Yes, there we go.
We can choose one more, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, you can do one
50%
more.
chance.
All right, give me the red card.
Red card. Let's go. I don't know if this animates out.
I'm wearing a blue suit, man!
You could have told me. Alright.
You don't know what's under the cards.
Of course it's me.
Oh.
Now you ruined everything.
Wait, is it
I
actually the
don't know.
official behind the blue card?
Yes!
Okay, can we
I-
just foolproof this and show...
Okay, show me the blue card, please. Please, I must see it.
No, let's touch on Kiki's first.
Yeah, let's talk about
Okay, okay,
Kiki.
okay.
Ruining the magic right now.
Yeah, we'll check it after to see if it's a... Because
I mean, he didn't watch Vitality games because he was focused on his games.
Yeah.
So we cannot talk a lot
That's
about
true.
Kikis. But I guess you also said that with him they won 2 games today or yesterday and today. So the performance of the team is going up at least.
So, Kasing, what do you think about the whole situation, the Gilius Kikis?
Honestly, it kind of sucks because it's like in the past, Gilius has always kind of been replaced by Gilius has been replaced by Kikis in both UOL, I think back then, and
I think it was Gamers 2.
it was Gamers 2?
I believe so.
Oh my.
Also,
I believe so.
Gamers
It was
2.
Gamers 2. Gildius wasn't Gamers 2, and then Kiki joined.
And then Kiki became a top laner.
We never even
No,
thought.
actually, no. Kiki started being jungle at the time.
Yeah, but when
And it was a time. It was right after Universal Love. He left from Universal Love to Gamers 2, and he was playing at that time Yudir and Seiko. That was the good old times of Kiki's.
Good old times. Hey, it was Mickey. There we go.
What is that picture? That's not you, is it? That does
Hate
not
that
look like
picture
you.
so
Have you
much.
never seen this picture?
I have not.
Because this is the epic, the official troll picture
Yeah.
we use for everything, and he hates it so
Oh
much.
my god. Okay, now I
guys,
see the
I
resemblance.
want to tell you one
Experiment.
thing. 2 seconds after this picture was taken, we had to
Yes.
do some dumb stuff for like a GIF, and Drake is actually standing next to me with a sausage.
Okay.
And he's gonna poke the sausage in my nose. That's why I'm standing like that, just looking straight ahead. I'm supposed to just keep a poker
But
face.
your neck,
But the part with the sausage is not here, so it's just a stupid photo instead.
your neck is like, this is a scientific wonder. Like, what is
my
going on there? So, you know, instead of doing the game, we now almost didn't talk about Kikis, but I think it worked out fine. We talked a lot about Jankos, and then we looked at.
But can we talk about the Fisher now?
You have 20 seconds.
Well,
I mean, we can. Yeah,
Just say
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
you go. I talk already.
You're the guest.
Go, please.
Well, basically, I think I've always said, like, whenever people ask me who my favorite casters and stuff, I've always said this is the Fish Show. Do you know why? Because you're the best person I've ever met.
Whoa. Thank you.
Can we put
No
some
problem.
words?
That's perfect.
That is so sweet.
I mean, you
Show
always
here.
support me, you know, so...
Should I move my chair and let
I
them
mean,
alone?
Yeah, I feel we all support to sing all the time, so whatever. Let's, no, it's very sweet. We're gonna check out some big plays though, because that's what the LCS is all about. Let's check out the LCS big plays brought to you by Acer Predator. First up, we talked a lot about mages in the bot lane, and one guy that is sticking to the 80 carries is Misfits Gaming's Hans Sama. Yesterday, he pulled out his signature pick, and Frappuccino said Hans Sama is by far the best Draven player. Tyler One would like a word.
Misfits that can just keep, twisting that pressure dial to unlock the lead. Of course, there's some of the patch notes on 8.14. Changes. Oh, look at this, Hans Sama.
Oh.
What are you doing? Goes in, manages to flash for the kill. Hans Sama, that was beautiful.
Yeah, priority 1v1, yeah?
Yeah, but I will get it slowly now. I need to push out this.
Okay, cool. I'll be there in like 10 seconds, okay?
Yeah. She's trying to hard contest.
Okay,
She can get the push on this wave.
Can I can come through here. Kindred is mid,
crazy.
Kindred mid. I'm moving.
Good job, Steven.
Wow.
Great comms from the bot lane right there. Really
don't
calling
say
that play in
anything.
advance. It's just Senkuk's talking about pushing mid lane and nothing is being said bot lane at all.
I think that mid push was triggering him to go all in.
Yeah, he's like, oh, fine, I'll kill this guy then.
We have mid prio. We can kill him.
So good. Alrighty, next up, another AD carry, this time Attila on Lucian. He came up huge in a final fight yesterday, securing the win for Vitality after a dramatic finish against the Giants.
If they actually get another engage, Nuxlord, he's back. He needs to go for this one. If he actually thinks he can win the fight, now it's time.
Onto Jizuke, Nuxlord onto CapSkillshot as well, but he is nuked down. Jizuke gets the taunt onto Betty, cleanse, flash away straight away. Giants now running for the hills because it's a 4v5. CapSkillshot, flash forward, double kill though for Attila onto the backline. He's gonna fall as well. No, still alive, gets the triple, then goes down, and now it's all on Giants.
I TP back mid.
We're getting it slowly again, I think.
I'm TPing back.
We have no ult, we have no ult. Engage maybe, engaging. Alistar. I'm not Talia. Go more. Go on, Talia.
Keep going. I'm TPing.
Avit. Okay, go together, we can end, I think.
I got everyone. Nice.
I got TP soon. I can TP. I will.
I mean, Attila's a great player. He didn't do that much yesterday besides that, but
Big moment.
big moment. That's how you get into highlight reels.
You got to score 1 goal in football and you're the hero. You got to have 1 big team fight and you're the hero again here.
Oh, this is why we love you, those analogies. Mwah! Okay, next up, Schalke.
Wow.
They bounced back with a great win against G2 Esports. Let's check out the fight that led to the deciding variant featuring a massive wombo combo.
That's the wrong meme.
What?
It's year of Chachi carry.
Amazing has the flank, but it's a control ward, so don't think we're going to find the engage yet. Perks goes in on towards Amazing. Nuke Duck waiting in the wings. Watch the Zed. He's the key target here because Schalke. Oh, huge! The 4-man knock up in the jungle. Nuke Duck comes in, and G2 have nowhere to run. They all flash away from the fight that they began. This is a superb fight for Schalke in the jungle. Upset's going to chase on towards Shannon as well, take out his fellow bot laner, and now Schalke can turn their eyes straight towards the Baron.
Okay. Yeah. Yasuo has stop.
I'm really for. I'm around.
I escort them out, and then we take everything.
Yeah.
They're walking on me.
They're gone, Maurice.
I'm here.
We can fight this. Go on, Gragas.
Just kill them all.
Go.
Kill them all.
Mundo behind. I got ulti.
Kill the blood. Okay, go Mundo.
I can stack for him.
Mundo.
And one more auto.
Who are you ulting for?
I'm not in range, by the way.
Yeah, okay. I didn't see that.
It's actually fine.
Hey guys, can we just do Nash?
Yes, we can.
I love how NukeDuck's voice is higher pitched in team fights than it is normally in interviews. You know, he has a pretty deep voice, and he was like, it was higher pitched.
It's real shot calling, right?
In the heat of the moment. This makes me, doesn't this, you're the biggest Schalke fan. This makes me dream of what Schalke can be.
It was a great team fight. I definitely want to say that. I really can't ignore the fact that G2 forced the fight. Jankos forced the fight for absolutely no reason. They were just scaling. They were going to win late game.
Yeah.
They had everything under control.
I mean, at that time, the game was almost over for them.
Vander played it insane, and Chachi's ult
The
was
glass
great.
is half full.
It was a good fight for Schalke. It was a bad setup for G2.
What do you think, Singh? You're the judge here.
I think Jankos low-key entered his team by trying to engage when you don't even get a good fight there. Like, no one was even in a position to follow up. So I just wasn't sure why he was there.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, we'll leave it at that and take a look at the action we've got coming up next week, week 7. Oh, time flies when you're having fun. Splice is up versus the Unicorns of Love. Ooh, that could be a tricky one. They've had really good moments. Exile was a monster today on Yasuo. So what are you thinking?
I think the last time we played against them, we lost. I think that was more of us not being able to understand or adapt during the game how we should play against them, and then we just pretty much kind of got snowballed on. I think that was the game where Zexu was super behind. I think he was playing Camille, and if you play Camille and you're not behind, then you know you don't have a jungle anymore. So
At what position does Splice go into playoffs?
honestly, I would like to say number 1, but sorry, going into playoffs, no, not number 1. Never mind. Maybe number 6 if we're lucky.
That's a big turnaround. So then you're gonna win after that?
I hope to get number 1, yes.
Okay. Well,
I'm glad you hope to get number
Yeah.
1. That's cool.
I love how it was like, oh yeah, maybe we can win, but we definitely will be like barely 6 when we go into the playoffs.
Hey, it's all about improving during playoffs. It's not about, you know, where you are at the beginning. So I think we definitely can make it as a number 6 seed if we do go to this.
Okay,
What else
humble.
do we have? Schalke, Rocket. That's going to be a close one.
Ooh.
Schalke should win, but whenever we say that, Rocket suddenly shows up.
G2H2K, I mean,
Very close game.
very close game, extremely.
Today, 2K game was better, to be fair.
Yeah, but that's
2K
why.
is 2K better versus FNATIC. They had a different comp, and it was actually a better
Yeah,
game.
they did the double
from
jungle
from what we
composition.
expected. Yeah.
True.
They're showing signs of life, which is very good. I mean, this could be very interesting. That's what they say. If, I mean, the team played really well. So we have Misfits versus Giants and Vitality versus FNATIC. This is going to be Vitality versus FNATIC, and I believe FNATIC G2 the next day.
Yes, it is. Last game.
So
on Saturday.
yeah, Kiki's Baptism by Fire up versus FNATIC. Or we don't know.
Gilius.
We don't know.
Or
That's true.
Gilius.
We don't know who's going to play.
Yeah, I mean, that would probably say a lot because now it's against the best performing team in Europe. The setup they had this week was obviously against some of the lower teams in the standings. Is this where you say, okay, Gillis is our best jungler, so we're going to use him because it's FNATIC? Or do you say we just went 2-0 with Kikis, things are actually working, and if we are going to upset this team, we need him in the lineup. So that's going to be really interesting to see who they actually start.
I love it. I love the storyline of Vitality. We're about to go. Before I tease the LCS broadcast, are there any closing statements you guys want to give to our viewers?
Well, you know, Divisho, who did you vote for to win for my game?
I voted for
you can stop this already.
Misfits.
Oh, you voted for Misfits?
I voted for Misfits to not jinx the Splice win.
Oh, that's true. Actually, do you want to know something cool? Every time Dracos votes Splice to win, we lose.
Interesting.
Every time. So Dracos, don't ever vote us again, please. Thank you very
And
much.
effectively, your good luck charm is Law. She
has
very
Splice a
often
lot.
takes a bet on you guys. Again, she's the only right vote, and she's actually
She's catching
pretty good in the standings. I think she's tied with Ender or something.
Yeah, I mean, she was in the backstage, just cheering every single time you win a team fight, and I was like,
Great.
but
and it was only one team
cheering
fight
for them, you know?
Alrighty, it's about time for NALCS Countdown, and they have some huge matches over there. TSM versus Cloud9, and then if you want more of the EU LCS, you can watch the rebroadcast rather after the last game in North America as well. Plenty of League of Legends, but that's it from us here in Berlin. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back next week for Week 7 and more action in the EU LCS. Have a great night, guys and girls.
Finally falling into the back. Goes Memento. Can they turn the fight this way? Kick is taking up the front line. Everyone flashing forward. He goes gold as well. It's all about those stopwatches. The old Heroes entrance for Jizuki. And for Vitality this game, the Rock Cat is in the bag. For him to go followed up by SirNukes-a-Lot, but the rest of Unicorns coming to join this party. Exile 1v1ing. Unicorns of Love prove they are the stronger team and come up with a huge victory. Hextech Ultimatum on. There's the jungle double team. Broxa, you can't beat both jungles, or maybe you can't. He gets to 1-for-1 outplay. They didn't fall for the trickery at all. FNATIC improved to 9-3.
Yankees getting all in.
Knock up from Yankees will knock him back, but that's a lot of damage from Nuke Duck, and that's exactly what you want to see. The year of the Nuke Duck is back, baby! Yanan tries to do what he can, but Nuke Duck is dominating, and the hype train's back on, baby! Jumps forward with the portal jump, gets the paddling out as well, and now Mickey has to get away. The shockwave misses once again. Hunsummer dead. Niski gets him in the back line, and Splice Senkux goes golden, but Splice thank you very much. Splice find the perfect fight right on the 20-minute mark. All it takes is one punch from Splice. They take down Misfits.